What's going on? It's the Rap Nerd, and you have to excuse my voice for sounding strange or even being kind of low. I'm currently under the weather, but I wanted to press through this and put out my review for Joey Badass's latest album called Lonely at the Top because I really love it. And I've been playing it since the release. I don't know if it was last week or the week before. I'm all over the place right now. As you can see, my background is different. I moved into my new house, so I'm still rearranging things. So it's a bit crazy right now, but I say all that to say I really wanted to talk about this album while it's still in rotation of being one of the newer projects. What I love about this album is it gives us some new content, but also gives us what we know and love from Joey Badass. I feel like it's a very equal amount of the two things, and it just plays for a good album, especially the way it's structured, because the first half of the album is a lot of the stuff that we know Joey for, and then the second half is what I'm talking about, where the content is different and we see a lot more introspection from Joey. So I just love this album in totality because I can see the growth and maturity in Joey since his first record. So I'm gonna jump into my analysis of a lot of the songs on here. You know, as I mentioned, the first half is full of joints that we're used to Joey Badass doing. The first two records, Dark Aura and Swank White, are just that New York boom bap, smooth, jazzy samples that you would expect from Joey and what he's always been giving us. So I'm not mad at any of that. The second record, Swank White, has West Side Gun on it, and they just pretty much spitting bars. I mean, it's like 100 bars in totality between the two, and I just get the screw face every time I hear that record. And then we move into my favorite joint on the album. I can definitely say that is Superfleet, and I just love that this sounds like some 2000s Fabulous / Pharrell type Neptune shit, man. This has been the first time I've heard somebody being able to reproduce that sound to such a T. It sounds exactly like it came from that era. I love the hook. I love the way that Joey's riding the beat. It's literally on point to what you would think Pharrell produced back in the 2000s. And I saw an interview earlier today where he says that's exactly what he was going through. We're making the record, mission accomplished, my guy. Absolutely love that joint. When it first played, I was kind of like, no way, is he better take it back? And then when the beat drops and he just starts spitting, I'm like, oh my God. I ran the track back 3 times, bumping it loud as hell. So easily my favorite joint on there. And then after Superfleet, we follow with 2 other potential singles with High Roller and Ready to Love. High Roller features A$AP Ferg, I believe it's another person on the vocals. I'm not sure of their name, but this is definitely a joint that whenever I hear it, I imagine riding around New York City in a Jeep Wrangler with the top down, like a summer record almost, in a sense, with your partner, you know, on the side, and you just, you know, again, you riding around, you know, showing off, you know, where you are now, hence the name High Roller. Even Ferg offers a verse that kind of gives me like Busta Rhymes type vibes with the amount of animation that he has in his voice. It adds a different flavor to the song that I feel like amplifies it even more. And then Ready to Love is next. Of course, the beat made by Hitmaker himself, and I believe he probably wrote that hook as well. And then you have Ty Dolla with a very catchy hook talking about Ready to Love. It's just one of those feel-good joints, a vibey joint. In the right setting, this shit would go off. I can imagine this being in some type of lounge or a rooftop bar and just playing loud as hell, and you got a nice drink in your hand. Oh, so many vibes there. And then the next record, number 6, is BK's Finest again. Another joint that we're used to with Joey Badass. It's a posse cut, rapping over these jazzy samples. I think Static Selector is on the beat, and again, just bars over bars and bars over more bars. And oddly enough, I could hear J. Cole sliding on this beat very heavily. I don't know why. I kept hearing his voice just going in, but love this record too, especially Rome Streets. His verse was fire, man. But from this point on is when things change from a content standpoint, and I start to hear things from Joey that I've never heard from him. Like, we get to Underwater, which I love this record, and this is him, I believe, singing the entire time. I thought it was somebody else, but then I looked at the credits, and it's him. I think that he just raised his tone, and of course they put a type of flanger on his voice to make it sound different. But I just love the message of the song, you know. And then the hook goes in even more. I can emphasize with that one a lot, because as a good man who is doing what they're supposed to do, and he even speaks about it in the song, sometimes you end up, you know, putting too much on your own plate, too much on your shoulders, where you feel like you can't breathe. And this is kind of him just, talking to himself in a sense. And you can listen to it and tell that it's very, very genuine. And then the next record we get to is 3 Feet Away. And again, another real song that I am glad to hear Joey express, but also if he's listening, you never know these days. Joey, if you're listening, I hope that you're okay mentally. I hope that you're okay spiritually. I hope that you do get the help that you need to, come on the other side of, the dark place that you either were in or are currently in. You have good people around you, because a lot of these lyrics to me sound like somebody who is offering the bars as a cry for help, and not like, oh, somebody help me, please save me, but I can just tell that this is pulling from a real place. in 3 Feet Away, he starts the verse out with, I've been dealing with anxiety. Like that's like really real shit for real. It takes one to know one, and I can just hear lines like that resonate with me. There's one line when he goes, I'm broke inside trying to pick up the pieces. You don't just say that if you don't really mean that. So again, I'm glad that he's able to vent his feelings out in a record like this, but man, I hope that Joey is okay. So I gotta say that. And even on that record, he's kind of has this kind of harmonizing rap flow, which I really love, and is not typical for Joey. And then we get to Speeding Through the Rain, which is another dope record about him backtracking. And in a sense, like a line he says, I find myself speeding and I land on memory lane, thinking about things in the past. And yet again, another bar that he says that I'm like, I hope he's okay. He goes, 5% tense, I'm hiding my shame. Like, that's not a throwaway line to me. Little shit like that means a lot from somebody like him. I can read his character and tell what kind of person he is, and throughout his whole career, and for him to let that fly, there's something there. So again, I hope Joey is okay and in a good mental space. And then we get to Still, which features Ab Soul and Rhapsody. I'm kind of upset that Rhapsody doesn't have a verse, because I would love to have seen her perspective here, because Ab and Joey both talking about being fathers and parents, especially Ab's final bar saying, for my daughters I gotta go farther. And I would have loved to hear Rhapsody's version on that. But again, it's one of those things where the world is testing you and you know why you're here, and this is the proclamation, like, nah, shit don't change. We still on what we've been on. We still gonna keep pushing. So I really like that record. I like how dark it is. Then we get to the last joint called Lonely at the Top, which is a really nice ending. Beat is super jazzy. Got the piano and that saxophone playing. It's just one of those records that I picture me listening to when it's raining outside, or I'm just driving, and you can hear Joey bearing his soul about what it means to be at the top. And again, another record where, like, I'm hoping Joey is okay mentally, because of the things that he is spilling here and letting his emotions fly. So all in all, a very great album. I love the introspection in it. I love the beat selection. I love the bars, the lyrics, the delivery. Everything that Joey has shown in this battle is in this album. There are plenty quotables over here. I didn't go over them just because I'm trying to salvage my voice right now. But incredible album and a great project to add to his discography. So let me know in the comments, what is your favorite track off of this album? Lonely at the Top. Again, mine is Super Flea. And if I had to pick something that was more traditional, I would say Lonely at the Top and Underwater might be my other favorites. I think those records are hard. Hell, I like Swing White too. Just that beat is fire. So if you let us get in contact, make sure to like and subscribe. And if you already are subscribed, thank you. And until next time, peace.
RapNerd Productions, no capping, that's word to mommy. Instead of banking on it, now rapping is just a hobby.